Momentum and how you define the time you're in. I've been talking a lot about the stumbling blocks, or the things that interfere with our vision and our dreams, but what about the momentum you accumulate after days of accumulating victory over the forces of resistance and procrastination? That feeling of that morning cup of coffee, the caffeine spike, when the writing is almost done, you just know you're going to get over the finish line. That feeling you have after a long run, or gone to the gym, or played a show, or painted something you're proud of. Let's talk about what it is to overcome the battle that always comes with any attempts at progress. In other words, let's talk about momentum. To push the ball further down the field to the end zone of our dreams, that's what it's all about. And the end zone need not be winning the Pulitzer Prize, or filling a table with Grammys, or getting a diamond YouTube button, or whatever the benchmark of ultimate success is for you. The end zone is really making it to the place where you've defeated resistance and seen through the tactics of this lunatic called oppression, or the self-limiting beliefs that the forces of oppression employ in that battle. Momentum helps us see through the oppression, enough to where we can easily overcome it and have us set up habitual patterns towards working without having to question it really at all. That's the place we are aiming for, stacking days of flow so that they become a matter of course. The habit of work, the gratitude of momentum. Gratitude, I'm saying gratitude of momentum because it's like that extra something in the momentum. The gratitude you feel from overcoming old limitations is spiritual, really. Pushing and not being uptight about it, or forgetting to have fun, but pushing anyway. That's the real end zone, which quickly becomes the new beginning zone as new creative ideas spiderweb out of your opening mind. The battle in your mind for the fulfillment of a vision isn't only for that vision, but a kind of muscle you are building in the gymnasium of your soul, where one vision becomes two, and two becomes four, and then you end up with a serious body of work, having overcome so many limitations in the cultivation of your soul's garden, so that you escape the fate of being like most men who go to their graves with their song left in them still unsung. As Thoreau famously said, most men lead lives of quiet desperation, going to their grave with their song still in them. What could be worse? But to get that song out of you requires a lot, which is why most men never do. The pitfalls to singing it are many. We won't ever kill the forces working against us, but the more we beat them in the battle, the easier and easier it gets to recognize their booby traps and shenanigans and dirty tricks, why I oughta, and dive right into the landscape of an opening vision. And it's not rooted in external success or a reward someone else is going to hand you, but rather in a surrendering to the process and the habit of finding that process daily, and putting the work first, and making it fun, and trying but not trying too hard, but also not trying enough. It's a priority to wake up and write first thing, or whatever the nature of your creative vision happens to be. We must point our days in that direction, for the distractions are endless and always available. Speed is often brought up as a factor towards success, I believe, because speed cultivates momentum. And momentum cultivates speed. Like a spinning wheel, we must make the wheels of our dreams spin and keep them moving, and speed overrides overthinking and the dangers that come with procrastination and fear. Arriving finally and hopefully at an ease of purpose, or here we go again with this momentum of gratitude, that spiritual gratitude, that spiritual momentum. And I guess ease of purpose is when you aren't debating your objectives anymore, or internal objections. You aren't spending hours and days trying to sell your own dream to yourself. Please work. Before you allow yourself just to reach for it as a matter of course. You become the one reaching for it, and you keep at it long enough to where that battle becomes seemingly out of reach to the dark forces of resistance or oppression and procrastination. At least for a window of time, or at least a safe distance for as long as you lean into the momentum of gratitude, of arriving at this place. Gratitude for overcoming the hurdles that allowed you to discover this space. You could think of it like a prison break. You've broken free and run from prison, At first the alarms were going off. Doo 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 doo. There were barking dogs chasing you, but luckily you hopped into a boxcar train of habit and created momentum. It took you far away from the old cages, and so now you're not in immediate danger of being captured by the forces of oppression, but they're still out there looking for you. You have to remain vigilant, but you've gotten out of the prison clothes, you changed your identity a bit, and now you are operating as creatively free man or woman leaning into your vision. It's at this stage when the forces of oppression change form and you realize that perhaps their influence and destructive energies were put there to make you stronger from the area where you've overcome and graduated beyond their initial attacks. New worlds of creative expansion open up for us. Rather than insurmountable monsters of oppression, the gifts of overcoming their attacks convert them into drill sergeants of the soul or cosmic personal trainers of your dreams, because from the place of overcoming and breaking free, new worlds of confidence in your ability to creatively expand beyond old self-imposed limitations becomes much easier to see and believe in. And you are operating from momentum now. You are busy being born rather than busy dying, as Bob Dylan would say. You can bully the bullies now. When the voices of oppression emerge, they become easy to see through and laugh at. Rather than terrifying you, you can chuckle in their direction and simply say, "Oh, isn't that cute?" or "Is that all you got?" But we shouldn't get too cocky, because life will always throw surprises and stumbling blocks. But we should take note of these times of flow when we are in them and remember how we got here. We should recognize these moments of momentum and lean into them, be grateful for them, and stack up more wins when the wind is at our back. Happy hunting. Thanks for tuning in. Like and subscribe if you got this far. Share if you think someone else will like this. And please keep rocking, keep living your dream.